everyone. This is Susan Givens. I'm the publisher of AutoSuccess, and we are having a very special Dealer Insider video today. We have Scott Kunes with the Kunes Auto Group. Scott, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
So you guys have a pretty cool history. Greg Kunes opened Kunes Ford Lincoln in Delavan, Wisconsin in 1996. And then you guys have continued to be family owned and operated. I love stories like that. Our company, Badcock's Media, is over 100 years old. We are family owned. And I love to hear success stories like that. How has that, the family owned and operated, helped you with your culture today?
You know, we've really focused on that throughout our 25 years. And so we took over management in 1996. We officially bought it in 1997. So 2022 is our 25th year anniversary. And so, we've always put the onus on our employees first, that we want to treat all of our employees like family. So when we talk about, faith, family, and giving back, it's not just about family being family owned. It's these people really have become part of our family. We have many employees that have been with us since the beginning in 25 years ago. And what's awesome is those employees have allowed us to continue to grow and prosper and just keep, and that in turn has allowed them to grow and prosper and take on new roles in the company. And it's just awesome to see.
Well, speaking of giving back, you guys give 10% of your profit each year to charity. What made you guys, want to give back to the community? How does that help with, just the ambiance and the enthusiasm throughout your dealerships?
So we are a Christian-based organization. We're not afraid to talk about it. My father has always had that is the tithe. God does talk about giving the first 10% of and your best to the church and to God and to the people in need. And that's often what we look to, is we look to support our communities, especially in ways that help people in need. So we're not often, we will sponsor sports teams, but normally we look at that as almost kind of like advertising and whatnot. So we're not often sponsoring the sports teams and things like that, but we are normally involved in every single church in our community, food banks across all the communities that we touch. So we just actually partnered with Umoja, which is going to help us launch a food drive and food boxing throughout the course of this next year. And so we're looking to give about $400,000 away to food banks throughout the communities we serve. And we really look at that these communities support us. And throughout all the years of selling cars, it still is a relational business, right? It's the internet has tried to change it. The Carvanas and Vrooms of the world have tried to change that. But in essence, this is still a relational business, and you still want to buy from people that you know and trust and that are going to support you and be there with you in the long term. And so that's what we've looked at, and that's what we've tried to continue with. We don't often try to publicize what we give to in charity, because that's not what we do it for. We don't do it for the publicity. We do it to truly support and be that leading supporter of our communities that often makes them the best places to live and work at.
Wow, what a generous company. Thanks for all you're doing, and just kind of spreading that really great way that dealerships can help our communities by giving. So much appreciated. You guys have grown to 40 automobile and RV dealerships throughout the Midwest. How have you been able to grow so large?
It's interesting. We always talk about, are we growing too fast? Are we stretching ourselves too thin? Are we crazy? Because a lot of times it feels that way. And but I think it goes back to the people and the culture that we've created, right? The fact that we really strive to put our employees first and give them every opportunity to grow and learn. We just recently signed on with NADA in their education subscription plan so that we can offer NADA training to every single person in our organization throughout, the entire organization and in every job category. So not just the NADA dealer school or GM school where the GMs go typically, but across the entire spectrum of dealership employees. And that's just one little segment that we do. So we try to look at that if we can support our employees, train them the best way possible, and they can continue to see upward movement. And that's what's allowed us to be able to go on and take on, maybe one store or a group of stores and be able to take people that are there, but also bring in trainers and all the support staff that they need that a lot of times they haven't had in the past, that are properly trained, and then continue to train them as we go. And I think that's, we've been able to take that model and duplicate it, and we break it into regions. And a region may have anywhere from 3 to 6 locations in it. And I know a lot of dealers will do a platform and do it by manufacturer, but again, we're so community involved that we like to look at it as a regional kind of thing. We try to take the people that live in that region and make them the best they possibly can be and give them the support that they need, whether it's through marketing or training. Like I said, we have a whole security team and legal division that a lot of times they just didn't know where they could go for answers.
That's great. So I know you mentioned NADA and using them as kind of a source to educate your staff. What other types of media do you use to help educate and further along your team members?
So we've had a corporate trainer in place. He was one of my sales managers when I was a GM of 2 stores. So that was quite a while ago. So he's been our corporate trainer for, I think now about 7 years. And now we've developed that department into kind of a performance management department. And so we do training. We'll do classes, and we also do in-store training as well as training through Zoom, and then performance management, where we are constantly looking at their processes and make sure they're being followed, and then kind of guiding that process along. We've also have started our own online training where we're building out videos now and trying to do it throughout the whole spectrum of the dealership, not just sales, but from the cashier to the porter to the detailer to all the different spots in between. So,
are you doing those videos in-house?
Yeah, we do those in-house, and so we have a whole studio and a whole staff that sets up all of those videos, films them, edits them, records them, and they're interactive videos too. So it's not just a video library. They'll have quizzes at the end. They have games in the middle of them that they're developing. So it makes it kind of fun for the employees to get on there and learn and level up, as we call it.
That's awesome. I love that. Curious, what's your favorite type of social media for, just kind of promoting your dealerships? What's been most successful for you?
So, obviously Facebook has always been there, and it's been a great one for us. And we have quite a few stores that have kind of Facebook champions, but one that's near and dear to my heart, because I think I got it because I have young teenage girls, was TikTok, and they started on TikTok pretty early. And I jumped on TikTok, and so I started talking to my marketing team about it, and they were like, "Really, you are of all people are on TikTok?" This was back before it was very mainstream, and so I said, "Yeah, I think we could do something really cool with this." So we ended up doing some TikTok videos. We have over 4,000 followers and growing. Some of our videos have had hundreds of thousands of hits, which is fun, and so TikTok's been a fun one for me. And can I put a dollar amount on it? No.
I was going to ask how we can. Yeah, I was going to ask how we can find you on TikTok.
It's Kunes Auto is the official TikTok page, and then each of the stores have some of the stores have their own TikTok pages. I know Kunes Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Sterling has a great TikTok page and great TikTok following on there as well. They do some of the fun challenges that you have, the workplace challenges. So they're fun.
That is super cool. I will check that out.
Yeah.
So employee shortages, inventory, they've all been an issue this year. How have you guys overcome these special circumstances?
Employee shortages are probably our toughest challenge still to this point, but I think we have a great culture and a great following and a great reputation in the car business. We have won Best Dealerships to Work For 38 times now, Automotive News Best Dealerships to Work For, Top 100. So, a lot of our dealerships have been recognized as a great place to work, and we have that reputation in our community. So, oftentimes, we have people approaching us kind of saying, hey, we'd love to come work for you. And I'm not saying that has helped the challenge, but that's really been our biggest thing. Surprisingly, we just started our HR department, full-on HR department. And I always say, people always are like, wow, you have 1,800 employees and just started HR. Well, when you're a single point store, your office manager and the office people, they kind of are your HR people. And so as you acquire these stores, those people are in place. And now we just solidified it. So we just started that. But with our reputation, I think is the biggest thing that has helped us in acquiring good, talented people. And we tend to keep people. Our turnover is very, very low. And like I said, we train and a lot, and we give people the opportunity for advancement, a lot of opportunity for advancement. So we end up keeping a lot of people, and that's been a plus. In terms of inventory shortage, we worked very hard in the beginning when we first saw the signs of it to bolster our inventory across the board from new to used and everywhere in between. And now I almost look at it like we have too much inventory. Now it seems to be loosening up, but we still, people always joke, when they come into our stores, like there is no inventory shortage in Kunes Auto, because we did go out and we tried very hard. We bought a lot of packages from locator services and things like that in order to keep the shelf stocked and our employees doing what they do best.
Good for you. Way to think ahead. Definitely. So believe it or not, we're halfway through 2022. I know you have some goals for 2022. Crazy. Yeah. And I know that you've had goals that you want to achieve in 2022. Are you on track to achieve those, and what are they?
Our goals are constantly evolving, and I think that's due to our rapid growth, we've had to constantly evolve, and a lot of our goals have always, again, and I hate to keep sounding like a broken record, but point back to our employees, and how do we keep them trained? How do we keep them motivated? How do we communicate effectively with them, and keep everybody on the same team and that culture really moving forward? So this year, our goals have really been to try to continue to push that. We've recently tried to instill our Kunes core values. So that's Kunes Cares. And so we've had a big push on that to try to make sure that our employees understand what we really expect from a core value standpoint. Everybody knows what we expect from a number standpoint or a business standpoint. But again, our communities are so important to us. Our reputation is so important to us. If this job was not a relational and relationship business, then Carvana's and CarMax's and Zooms, they already would have taken over and we wouldn't be here, right? And so we want to ensure that our employees understand that and are doing that, pushing that to our customers as well. So Kunes Cares has been a big initiative for us, and we've gotten a lot of traction with that this year. I would like to see more, but as always, it's a work in progress, especially when we have 1,800 employees. The other thing is communication, and we just launched Workplace for our entire organization, which has been a great tool for our culture and everybody to really get a feel. It's like Facebook, but just our own, and it's our own internal social media and communication tool. And so that's allowed us to really get a feel from where our employees at. It's allowed our employees from Quincy, Illinois to Green Bay, Wisconsin to be able to kind of get to know each other and get a good feel there. But it's also allowed us to communicate a lot of very important things, as we can rather than send out an email or try to call or make sure every service department is talking to everybody, or it's service managers talking to every technician or anything. If we can have this large community space where and it's a safe space for us that we can put these things out there and effectively communicate, kind of brings everybody together.
What a cool thing to have. Very awesome, very up and coming, very progressive. Scott, thank you for your time today. We really appreciate you sharing the nuggets with us. And to our audience, thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much, Susan.